What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have officially started season 2 of the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. Now, this particular season is supposed to be the one that really takes it to the next level in terms of identity politics, wokeness, all that good stuff. The first season, I didn't mind too much. Unfortunately, it was just very inconsistent for me. I gave some episodes really high scores, and I gave some other episodes really low scores. So it just depended on, I guess, who wrote the damn episode. But ultimately, it was a pretty average season. This particular season has a lot of people talking about it, and I've been wanting to jump right into it. So with that being said, guys, I'm only going to ask you for two things, of course, as you guys are aware. Consider giving this video a like. I would greatly appreciate it. Not only that, consider giving it a long view duration, because the longer you watch the video, the more it's going to get promoted out into YouTube's algorithm to help us fight our daily suppression. So with that being said, let's get into season 2, episode 1 for the Proud Family. Alright, so this episode's going to pick up exactly where the last one left off. If you guys don't remember, we were exploring Sugar Mama's past, and they went to a town in Oklahoma where Sugar Mama was born and where she grew up, and ultimately she ended up leaving it because she had a disagreement with her father. She wanted to kind of be like the boys, and the father was like, no, that's not acceptable. You are a girl, go do girly things. And Sugar Mama was like, well, I'm a strong, independent woman, go fuck yourself, and essentially ended up leaving. And that's why she's such a hard ass now to this day. Now, this episode starts off with the same butterflies that the previous season started off with, when everything kind of got reset and everybody became older because of these magical butterflies that keep floating around. And then we fast forward and see Sugar Mama looking at a picture of herself and her father on a horse, because as much as she loved horse riding, it just wasn't what women did back then. Sugar Mama looks at the picture really sad, ends up going to pack her stuff and realize her dog is in the bag, essentially telling her she can't leave just yet. Dejanay ends up finally being able to call Penny, because if you guys remember, she was unable to get any service because they're out in the middle of nowhere. Check this out.
You won't believe this, girl. Last year I just become ready. They been behind your back. What?
So Penny's figuring out that La Cienega, while she's been away, has been trying to steal her boyfriend away from her. But this is not the first time La Cienega has tried to do this. La Cienega has tried multiple times to steal away Penny's boyfriend, so it's just a recurring theme within the show. Penny obviously gets upset at this and doesn't want to deal with it, and ends up screaming at the top of her lungs. Check it out.
Dejanay! Dejanay! No!
So she ends up throwing her phone, obviously because she's pissed, which probably wasn't a good idea because, you know, that's pretty expensive. And then she sees Sugar Mama seemingly trying to leave, packed her stuff anyway, and is trying to leave and wondering what is going on. So, of course, she runs after Sugar Mama, and Sugar Mama says this. Check it out.
I'm getting the HE double hockey sticks out of here.
Ooh, finally. Good, because I'm going with you.
Well, suit yourself.
So Sugar Mama decided she's getting the hell out of there, and Penny is also trying to get out of there because she just is really bored. You know, she's in the middle of the country. There's nothing she can really do. She's just trying to get out of there. We end up seeing Oscar with the rest of the family on what seems to be pigs, and it looks like they're trying to do some sort of a race on these pigs. Check it out.
Hey, pig! Oh, and now, Pamela Anderson breaks to the inside as she takes the lead. Coming up on the outside is Hog Time and Swine Time.
So obviously the pigs are very slow, and it's not exactly the most fun race to watch. So Trudy ends up getting worried about Penny because she has no idea where Penny is at. Oscar is involved with the race, and then Trudy ends up trying to text Penny to see where she's at, but she has no idea that she threw her phone, so obviously she's not going to have her phone. Oscar ends up giving Proud snacks to one of the pigs. Check this out.
Pamela Anderson, who you probably last saw in Hey Watch, she was a lot smaller back then, has just pulled ahead by a snout. There's nothing but blue.
The fact that they're racing pigs is just honestly kind of hilarious to me. So again, Trudy is very worried about Penny. She's trying everything to try to reach out to her. Oscar is basically telling Trudy, don't worry about it, she's gonna be fine. And then that's when they discover that her phone is literally floating in the middle of the water. Check this out.
You better go get my baby, Oscar.
Now they know she doesn't have her phone, and then Sugar Mama is still walking through the desert, ends up coming up on an area where they essentially have to run because they're getting chased by a whole bunch of, I don't know what the hell this is, you know, but they end up getting spiked up quite a bit as they try to run away. They hide around a corner. Sugar Mama got a little bit on her, but Penny is just completely swamped with it.
Man, you okay, Penny?
Sugar?
So there's a guy that ends up remembering Sugar Mama, who she clearly has some sort of a history with, and come to find out that this is someone that Sugar Mama actually dated in the past, who now introduces his, I believe his son, to Penny and Sugar Mama. Check it out.
I want you to meet an old friend of mine. This is Miss Charlotte.
Oh, how are you doing this evening, ma'am?
Well, you tell me. How does it look like I'm doing?
Hi.
So lots of irony that Penny ends up showing affection to this guy, considering that she was mad at La Cienega trying to steal her boyfriend away. It's just a, little bit of irony there. That's all I'm saying. So they end up introducing each other. They have a discussion. They talk around a campfire, all that good stuff. And they start talking about their history, which Sugar Mama wants to bring up the fact that black people could not marry outside of their race in Oklahoma back in the day. Check this out.
My life. Until we found out that in Oklahoma, it was against the law for black people to marry anyone who wasn't black.
So obviously we're going into a little bit of a past discussion here where they're trying to discuss what it was like in the past with Oklahoma and black people and whatnot. And it is interesting to talk about. It is good to bring this up. I don't know if it necessarily belonged in a kids' TV show. But again, I guess they're trying to target teenagers. So I suppose teenagers could obviously know about this stuff and they're learning history anyway. So it's not that big of a deal. All good. Definitely something that's worth mentioning, of course, since it's basically targeting black people. This particular TV show is trying to target a black audience. So it makes sense that they would want to talk about this stuff. So Sugar Mama essentially talks about how she couldn't marry, and it was due to the fact that she was black, and obviously this gentleman is not black. And then Penny ends up asking what else happened, and then Sugar Mama says this.
Just what did you do, Corner? Seems like everything's the same to me.
Well, I went to Harvard, got my law degree. I became chief of the tribe. I sued and got our tribal land back. Matter of fact, we're sitting on it right now.
So he ends up saying that he stood around because he felt as if that he should be able to make a difference. And that's essentially what he did. He now has not only taken over the land again, but has allowed them to be able to marry like whoever they want. It's a law that is no longer existing anymore, that black people obviously can only marry black people. That law has been abolished a long time ago, even at the point that this episode is taking place. But still, obviously, he feels like he made a difference. He got a law degree. He sued, all this stuff. It's a weird excuse to want to stay behind and leave the woman you supposedly love. But again, it is what it is. Like, why couldn't you become a lawyer outside of the state and then go back? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, it is what it is. Then the family ends up showing up because Oscar was looking for Penny because, again, she left her phone. They promised to meet each other again. Penny, look at the way she's looking at this guy. Like, come on. It's like, they're very obvious with it. So they end up going back to the main camp, and there is a big old rodeo happening where Oscar is taking place, riding the horse and whatnot, and he's winning a bunch of competitions. Everybody's doing a bunch of competitions of all different kinds that obviously have to do with like country-oriented stuff. I'm not going to be able to play much of it because at the end of the day, there's a lot of music attached to this, and I don't want to get copyrighted. Penny and this boy end up getting real close, which again, I find very ironic because she is with this other boy, and she just got mad at La Cienega for trying to steal that boy, and here she is with another one. You got these guys doing an eating contest. Obviously, Bobby's going to win that one. There's no way in hell he's going to lose that. So Bobby won that competition, and then this is the major competition, the bull riding one. Now, the bull riding one is the one that Sugar Mama wanted to take part in, that she wasn't allowed to take part in because she was a girl, and that's what you saw in the last episode. At least that's a little bit of a tidbit as to why she was so upset with her father, who is this man, by the way. And then what ended up happening is there is essentially nobody that could tame this bull. Oscar thinks that he can actually tame this bull, and he gets completely ransacked and destroyed by the bull. So we all saw that coming. Then Sugar Mama ends up jumping in because the bull gets out of hand, and she shows that she still got it. Check it out.
You better let go of my boy. Don't nobody mess with my boy but me.
So Sugar Mama ends up impressing everybody, and Oscar especially is taken back by this because this is the first time that Sugar Mama has showed that she loves Oscar and is willing to protect him no matter what. And the bull was hurting Oscar, and she just jumped right in and decided to take over and do her thing. The father is impressed to no end regarding her ability to handle this bull, and she ends up winning and showcasing to everybody that she was able to tame the bull, and she is one of the first women ever, I believe, to do so. As they raise her hand to be the champion, the father eventually ends up smiling and, you know what, claps and is proud and happy for Sugar Mama. and then they all share a meal, and basically he gets over it and apologizes for the way he treated not only her, but all the women in the camp, and that he should have listened sooner rather than later, and is very apologetic and gives Sugar Mama the champion belt for being a badass on the bull. After which, everybody in this town says goodbye to the family. Sugar Mama, Trudy, Oscar, Penny, everybody's leaving. They give them little mementos of the town. Sugar Mama and her father reconcile, which is also nice. The brothers also reconcile with everybody. Penny ends up getting not only a goodbye from this boy, but if you look at the book, and you know this is when it's going to start getting good, because this first episode is not going to be that episode. They're not going to hit you with the first episode, but there's a little hint here and there that tells me that there's a lot that's about to come hit you over the next few episodes. But if you look at the book, it says Africans and Native Americans, so I can only imagine what that book is going to try to talk about. Sugar Mama ends up trying to reconcile with this man as well. I keep forgetting his name. And they do, of course. So Sugar Mama basically gets everything she wants. She closes out her entire backstory, the chapter, everything that's ever bothered her, she gets closure for. The town ends up transforming right before their eyes with the magical butterflies and all that. And essentially that's it. The episode ends from there, and they drive off to go back home. So this episode really wasn't that bad. I thought this episode was pretty good. It did have some decent messaging in it. Obviously, the way that they treated Sugar Mama at the end, I thought was pretty good. It was good that Sugar Mama finally stopped being such a bitch to Oscar. Although it's kind of like that family love thing, right? Where you could pick on your family all day long, but the moment someone else try to pick on your family, obviously you're going to defend them as if you never pick on them in the first place. That's just how a lot of families are. And seeing Sugar Mama do this is no different. So ultimately, guys, this particular episode for the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder Season 2, Episode 1, I'm going to give this episode a solid 7.5 out of 10. I thought this episode was pretty good. The animation is slightly better than it was in the prior season. I don't know if they upgraded it in this particular season. I'm not really sure, but it just seems like it is in certain scenes, so I appreciate that. It's still not my style of animation, but I can at least say they put in some work. Overall, the story was okay. I can kind of tell and see where they're going to start going from here, and I can only imagine that the next few episodes is really going to start taking their mask off and showing exactly what all the talk is about regarding this second season. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.